Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. This is Martin in here, and we did have a very nice closing last Friday. Of course, not in terms of our KLCI market, but more for the US market. And this coming Wednesday, I'll talk more about what's be likely to happen. I think the actions are really on the US market in here. As our market, many of you would know if you have checked our VSA 360, you would also see that foreign funds continue to leave our shore in here. And even last Saturday, we had a group of fund managers, institutional people were discussing, what is the, next course of action likelihood will cause our KLCI market to go higher. So let's take a look at what we have this morning and really look into the sense of it in here. So let's take a look this morning in here. So what I have for you this morning is really, we're going to be, check us out on our TikTok right now. We have a TikTok handler in there. I did talk about a little bit about currency for those of you who have problem sort of understanding in here. That's really an avenue in here. So for this morning, as many of you would have known, the US Dow Jones has turned green Pentagon. So one of the big brother has turned green Pentagon, and then I do think that eventually our market will slowly rebound, right? We do have the support right now, the KLCI at 1370. Right now it's about 1380, but later I'm going to show you we do have the overhead resistance at 140. It is still red Pentagon. Hopefully we do have a couple of more days before it turn back green Pentagon in here. But foreign funds is really one of the reason people is avoiding it, and also the political landscape in Malaysia. Although they don't talk much about it on the paper, continue to be very toxic in here. And such, maybe just getting some of those dividend stock like our FA stand for Fundamental Analysis Collection, may be more suitable in here. And right now, market still continue to go through our way. And remember, our SmartRobie apps that you see on the chart here is powered by our Pentagon guided system in here. And of course, we want to look at some of the past winners. Now do take note, some of these past winners are very small cap stock, less than 150 million. So usually they are easily to be manipulated in here. So if you look at last week, I think there was one on the 28th of May, 2 weeks back, and that when some of these small cap stocks, when they do turn green Pentagon, you can see they started to move up so much for that one here. SMRT, if you look back, let me just go back my screen here, periods. Right, SMRT is up 21% in here, but do take note, these are generally more risky stocks. And of course, our breakfast show for the Monday dedicated more to the beginners, and if you are beginners in here, you want to be sticking to the Robie FA stock, which do pay dividend. If what I say here makes sense, give me a thumbs up in here, and I do hope that let me know where you're listening from in here. We do have a lot of our regular folks in here, so that's one. And don't forget to check out our VSA 360 new features, and also you can sign up for a 10-day free trial through our number or our website in here. All right, and so what has really happened, if you look back, let me just go to the KLCI market today in here. Very simple relative to use, just on top of me here. Just switch to the wider chart and switching to 1 month here. So we can definitely see the KLCI is finally rebounding. That single rebound that we are looking for. It did break through the 1400 level in here, but it does hold its support at 1370, and it's reversing just like the Dow Jones we've seen early on. Then when you look at the regional market, many of these actually follow the big brother, right, which is the US Dow Jones. So pay more attention to the US market, but that's the market that's going to make you money in the longer term if you have that perspective here. If you want to trade the local Malaysian shares, you want to keep to some of those shorter terms, you can try the stage 2 daily intraday stocks, but you have to be fast. Yeah, you don't want to be holding too long. For our beginners, you want to keep to the Robie FA list. I'm going to show you some of the last 2 weeks that we pick up, and remember last Monday was a public holiday, so we didn't do it. And foreign funds is still selling. And right now you can also see the railway track continue to point downward, and foreign fund has been selling a fair bit almost the last 2 weeks, which does explain why our chart continue to go. But right now we might see stage 1 reaccumulation next. If they sell less, I suppose, then you'll see this market hopping up. But definitely on the left hand side, this market continue to go up, sideways in here. Now if you look on the, just switch to a wider chart here, right, and on top of me you could see the KLSE futures, which is the leading indicator using in our trading view. Check it out in here, and it broke through that old support that you see here, this old support which is around the 1380, and it's been down many days. So following this red pentagon will pay you dividend and stay you out of this trouble here. So right now you can see 1383 is the resistance level from the FKLI. So we might see this market right now 1390, 1380 will be this resistance level in here. Probably will see a bit more profit taking later on in the afternoon, because the US market already quite significantly, so you do see a lot of profit taking, and that's likely to happen to our Malaysian KLSE market in here. Right now you can see markets are pointing lower low, and lower high, right? It's still lower high, so we don't see that nice trend that we are looking for. So we want to have that nice trend to turn back up, else it's still pointing a lot on the downside trade. Now some of our beginners in here may not check out what is called SD2 stocks. Okay, SD2 refer to stage 2 shares. It is what we call let me just go back here and just show it to you, just right on top of me here. Just switch to a wider chart here, and you could see this is one of the things that we call is a continuation of an likely uptrend. So we click on SD2. Some of these shares are not for beginner. Having said that, right, they are been moving for a fair bit. So just press it again, and you can see since the green pentagon, of course, SIBC, if you check 9237 and click on stock price and stock chart and hit on it, definitely you can see on the chart there, this stock really rifle up in here, and that's why it's gone up by 100 over 14% in here, the green pentagon. You can see from here, switch to a 1 month chart, it took some momentum too. Some of these stock may be on green pentagon, but it's still continuation, much more in the uptrend from 20 cents ago to 30 cents. A lot of these so-called penny stocks tend to do generally better in here. And let's take a look at on some of the stock fundamental. Sarawak consolidation in here generally are not rated, as you can see. Also ROE is negative, so because it's negative, and then somehow they're going to turn positive, and that's why this stock usually do get marked up. Market cap is only 182 million in here. Okay, so just take note of this. These are stocks generally easy to be manipulated. And the next one that we have on SD2 stocks is also Eco World, which is up. Let's take a look at the chart here, and you could see this one switching to a 6 month chart. So it was started around 70 cents in here, it's gone up to 80 cents, so that's pretty nice. So you can also switch to so-called what we call rotate the chart in here. On the phone you can't see it, so you may rotate it and you see a much better one, but in this example I'll probably just show you this one here. So switching to a 1 month chart, you could see there's a lot of nice support here around the 74 cents, 73 cents in here. Right now you have a nice line change, and it might just continue from here looking at it, but again, this is more for those of you who have a little bit more experience. Now let's turn our attention next to the hot sectors. Okay, so hot sectors, what is really hot today in here, and nothing much. As I said before, the KLSE is been really a handful of sellers. So what we are looking for is just more on the so-called, what I talked about last week, the catch up. Okay, the catch up from to the US market, which is actually the technology stocks. Okay, so if you look from the technology stocks here, how the idea it is, sometimes you do select the first item that you see, which is technology, or the second one utilities, or even transport. But right now it seems to be just confidence will be just on the technology side in here, because overall the market has been very weak. Having said that, all right, so you can see from here, last on the 26th of May, which is the Monday 29. There were Inari, Info-M, Globetronics. We can check some of these out, see how well they turn out. So we just type Inari, hit on that one, and let's look at the stock chart. Those are 92% in here. Yep, that was on the, let's switch to a 1 month chart. Okay, and it did turn, yeah, it actually turned on the Friday on the 26th. You can see since then it's holding up its level in here. Then let's go to Globetronics. Okay, and check out Globetronics. I generally like to prefer those mid-cap stocks. Right, Info-M is really, yeah, again, it's very similar. It's holding up this level on the 26th actually turned. So let's see how it is. If the US market were to play up a bit more, then we have this market moving up in here. It's not going to be the kind of bullishness that we see like Tesla, which been up almost 100% from the bottom here, right? So that is our market. So if you have a choice, I think that some of the sectors I talk about, I encourage my user to actually take a look at the US market for that matter. Some of these actually have also starting to turn red Pentagon in here, being the market overall quite weak in here. Okay, now let's look at the FA Robie collection again now. Keep in mind that at that time the market was in sorry, not green Pentagon, but it's actually red Pentagon. So the metrics, first one is actually when I talked about last time was 29th of May. Okay, that was 2 Mondays ago, which is the RC Capital. RC Capital did pretty well on the 29th of May, around 2. It's started to move up in here, very nicely done. Take out the 3, and I do think that this is going to do a lot of the insider buying. So make sure you check out our VAC 360 in here to see the insider buying where this market started to pick up and move up in here. Metrics didn't fare that well, although Metrics does pay a very solid dividend, and that's also one of the things I like about Metrics. But remember, Metrics, it's a property in here. Let's look at stock fundamentals, and you can see this one is rated 6 out of 8 with a P of 8 times, ROE of 10 when the sector average is only 5, paying 4% dividend in here. Okay, and the market cap is about 1.8 billion in here, so pretty good in here. Target price of 175 at the re-rating of about 10.5 times in here. If you do ever get to 10.5, we'll see this in here. But again, we have seen some of the fund managers in region are still talking about low PE, undervalue Malaysia in here. It may be quite heavily discounted at this level in here at a PE of 8.6 times. Okay, so that's the other two. So you can also subscribe to our free daily newsletter if you have not done so, and we'll give out some of these so-called stocks that are FA listing in here. All right, and so check out in here the SmartRobie. So let's take a look for this week, this Monday, the 12th of June in here. Now keep in mind we still have a red sector in here. First one, and let's take a look at the Robie FA list. And you can see we have 7 in here. So some of them I tend to be a bit more cautious. So I like red tone. So you take a look at 0032 and click on this one here. So you look at red tone as just turned red Pentagon starting to shoot up in here. Let's look at the FA. And FA is around 5 out of 8. With a PE of 9 times. Okay, PE of 9 times, sector average of 22, ROE of 22 times. So that's being greater than the sector average. So that's pretty good. Okay, with a dividend of 2.6%. 2.6% in here. Not bad for a dividend player. Being utility, this one, I think is a utility. Let's go back up. Yeah, telecommunication, not utility, mid cap, around 530 million here. Okay. Next we have is the transport MBRB. Okay, so let's go to MBMR. This is the Perdua. Okay, or the last time I can still remember this, the Perdua manufacturer in here. So you can see 355. It's just turned green Pentagon. Okay, recently, and still hovering in there. Okay, it didn't have a great follow through that it did, but it may feel like this. If it does break back up to 360, then this stock has a chance of moving up. Else, you do see a lot of resistance around the 360 there. Okay, let's take a look at the FA2. Check out the fundamentals. Fundamental is 4 out of 8, not too bad, and the P is relatively really low. I can say for sure. You know, being ROE at 13 times, paying a 12% dividend, right? P of 5 times is very low. If they do re-rate back to 7.5, and you will likely to see 525, but of course right now it's actually a low risk to reward for MBMR, and this is also on the backdrop that the car sales has already peaked, and maybe that's why it's in here. But compared to B Auto, if you look at B Auto actually has, let me take a look, see B Auto stock chart right in here, and B Auto also pull back, very similar story. You can see, right? Turn green Pentagon and then make a 2-bar reversal. You see on the left hand side, just turn back up in here. So for the 12th of June 2023, bearing in mind, I'll still be interested in the technology stocks that you see up here for the hot sectors, because next week when we come back on Monday, we'll be wheeling this again in here. So one of the things I like is the JHM. You can see from here, never mind, you can just check it out. Go to main menu, right? Go to hot sectors and just click on technology, right? So if you have any stocks you want me to look at, just feel free to so you have to be a bit selective in here. All right, JHM, I like that one. If you check out VSA 360, there might be some insider buying to this stock in here. Okay, let's take a look at the chart now. There you can see here a kind of low risk to reward. All right, but you notice this is actually coming up from a very low base. So a lot of these are generally low base, and we want to see whether they were able to hold up or not. Okay, there was some question people did ask about the rubber glove, which we did talk about previously. Let's take a look at Hatalega. Okay, no, that's still hot. We need to get Hata. Okay, Hatalega, click stock chart. Okay, hit that one, and you can see it has come back down and third red pentagon, but it's still holding me at 220. So which does mean a lot has been said from the analysts when this market going higher, that they do believe the ASP prices does not justify why this stock can go up. So if you have any stocks you want to look at, just let me know, and we're coming almost to that. So as a summary, the KLCI really has broken down, as you can see before, but it's supported right now at 1370. At best it will likely to move sideways. Not much change in here, provided we have foreign fund continue to sell off. So that's where the resistance is, but should the market were to break higher, we need to see foreign funds coming. And right now, if you check out some of the financial institutions as well as some of the fund managers, all they are saying is our market has a lot of potential, but on the backdrop of the political situation in the state election, this yet to be seen how the market's going to be able to push this higher. Not much clearance until I see the state election result, which will likely to happen in August when the election happened. Okay, so that's red pentagon. At best is just a sideways market. So continue to support us. You can also sign up for our newsletter in here, and check out some of our old archive video we have on YouTube, and you can also follow me on the TikTok in here. And if you're ready to subscribe to our VSA 360 package, we have some great plans in here, and with the new features, with the risk to reward, with many of our review giving people about. So right now we were at some stocks. If you have any stocks you want me to help you look at, feel free to pencil in there, and I'm happy to help you in that manner. Okay. Alright, thank you Nora, thank you Nasro. So that's all we have. If there's no stocks in here, thank you for your presence and for your support. I will be back on Wednesday night for the live Facebook in here for our talk why the bull market is here and why it can go higher. But that bull market refers to the US market. All right, US market is the area to look at. Thank you. That's all for today. Thank you for your support and thank you again. Don't forget to join our Telegram chat room. That's all. Bye bye.